Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we are discussing the original version of the Patek Philippe Calatrava 6000G. This is the 6000G-001 as debuted in 2005 and built through 2007. After the first few model years, this black matte dial went away and was replaced with a sunburst gray dial. So this is a fairly scarce watch. It's 37 millimeters in diameter, and you can see both the dial and the case shape are derived from the 1992 and long-running reference 5000 that debuted in 92 without the date, but with the same style of radial numeral dial and small seconds. This watch is much larger than that original, though still not huge. At 37 in diameter, 9 millimeters thick, and from lug tip to lug tip, 46.1 millimeters with a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. When you throw it on the wrist, it's fairly robust. For a 37 millimeter watch, it looks and feels larger. Maybe it's because the lugs are so long. Maybe it's because they're so flat. They flare straight across the wrist, but this really looks more like a 40 on the wrist. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't think this is ideal for a wrist smaller than 15 centimeters in circumference. It's just down to the way it wears. It is delightfully slim though, 9 millimeters with a sloped, almost flat domed bezel. It's an easy watch to fit underneath the cuff. Now, taking a quick look at the strap, you can see this is a brand new Patek Philippe factory strap. Large rectangular scale alligator leather in black on the top with a folded edge, a monotone stitch, calfskin, and you can see little pull tabs are used, so you can remove the strap from the case without a tool. And the buckle is also white gold. The fascinating thing here is that this watch was built right around the time Patek made the transition from using rhodium-plated white gold to using what's known as gray gold, or gold that is not quite as white, but the same color all the way through. And you can see that the buckle on this watch was on the gray gold side of the production divide because it has this warm, almost slightly jaundiced look to it, like gray gold, modern white gold does. But then you look at the watch, and it's blazing white. It's rhodium plated and blazing white, the way Patek did prior to its 2006 changeover to gray gold. So this is a fascinating sort of transitional combination. Now the watch has the Calatrava cross on the crown. It has a pusher adjuster for its calendar on the flank, and then the dial. Whereas the original 5000 of 1992 had the small seconds and the radially arrayed numerals, here we add a lunette-style radial date, and you can see that it is laid out in exactly the same fashion as the center dial. We have a combination railroad and piano tracking board for reading our minutes and our hours, and the watch has lovely white varnished hands that pop nicely against the black backdrop. It's said that the dial of this watch was inspired by 1940s, 50s, and 60s automotive dashboard instruments, and I can easily see the resemblance. Now, most Calatrava automatics use some sort of center rotor automatic. This one has always used the 240. Back to 1992 in its previous life as the reference 5000, the 240 has always been the movement of choice, making this watch thinner than a standard Calatrava because the micro rotor is thinner, but also giving it more of an upscale sheen as we have a larger open display caseback vista. It's as visible as a manual, but it's also as thin as a manual with the convenience of an automatic. Now, this movement's been made since 1977, and it usually appears in high complications. So a three-hand with a date is a little bit of an unusual application for this movement. It's an auto winder. It's got a 48-hour power reserve, a 21,600 vibration per hour beat rate. It is a 27 jewel movement adjusted in 5 positions and free sprung with a Gyromax style balance, and it features the Poinçon de Genève. That is the old Geneva hallmark. Patek eventually abandoned it in mid-2009, but all of the original black dial 6000Gs are going to feature the Geneva hallmark, and a lot of collectors and purists prefer that. The watch does have a screw-in case back, but it's still just 30 meters water resistant, so splash and rainfall only. The finish is to a high grade, although most of the finishes started mechanically, particularly the bevels. They are finished manually. We also have engine turning on the base plate in 2 different sizes, you can see. Black polished screw heads, black polished locating pegs to help place the bridges on the base plate. We do have that mirrored bevel that's finished manually. And we have satination on the wheels, including the ratchet wheel atop the barrel. And the timepiece is gorgeous in almost every regard. It is a large 37 on the wrist, but it has a lot of personality for its size, and it's one of the most desirable and sought-out modern Calatrava references. Again, this model was only made, as you see it here, from 2005 to 2007, so it is a scarcity within a scarcity. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.